After the brutally vicious winter of 1941, the German High Command realized the standard issue winter gear, consisting primarily of a long greatcoat, was wholly insufficient for the frigid Russian winters. Thus, development began on what was to become an iconic piece of the German uniform, the camouflage parka. Early models, first issued during the winter of 1942, were a medium grayish color now dubbed mouse gray. They were constructed of two outer layers of rayon poplin with an inner layer of recycled wool and cotton blend. Generally, these parkas and trousers were reversible to a matte white to help blend into the snowy landscape. As the war continued, versions of the uniform were introduced with the splinter camouflage pattern for Heer and the spring oak pattern for the Waffen-SS. In the fall and winter of 1944, several minor changes were made, including adding reinforcements for the knees and elbows and darting the hood. On top of these changes, parkas were now produced in tan and water camouflage for Heer and blurred edge and the fall oak pattern for SS. Now let's get into some of the finer points of the parka. As you can see, mine is a second pattern, tan and water camo parka, also known as marsh camo. Let's go over it. All of the camo parkas had this belt across the waist used to help cinch it up, and that would make it easier for the normal belt and the field gear and everything to ride a little nicer on it. As you can see, it also has a storm flap here that goes over the buttons. The buttons are off-center and actually button on one side of it. So this was to help protect it from the cold. It is fully reversible, as you can see. Buttons on both sides, buttonholes, and another storm flap on the white side. On top of that, it also has a drawstring at the bottom here, which was used to also keep out the cold. You cinch it all up. Same thing with the hood, a drawstring at the top. Use it to cinch up your hood. On to the arms, they have buttons on either side of them. These were used for colored little armbands that were used for identification. The sleeve, at the end of the sleeves, also has more buttons and a little tab that you can use to cinch it up, which again help keep out the cold, which is exactly what these things were built for. Moving on to the pants, they had a pair of suspenders that were able to be taken off. They had two pockets, one on either side, had a 4-button fly right here, and then instead of a belt used to cinch them up, they had two little ties on either side, as you can see, that just tied up in the back. And then on the bottom also has these drawstrings used to cinch them up against your boots or your low boots or winter boots, whatever you're using to help with the cold again. So now let's take it all outside for the final test of cold weather. Alright, so after spending about 30 minutes out here in around 20-degree weather, the Parka has kept me very nicely toasty to the point of actually I'm a little bit hot. But otherwise, this concludes my video on the World War II German reversible winter Parka. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll catch you in the next one.